Yo, what's going on? Yesterday I did a video called Charlotte. It's safer. I feel safer living in Charlotte than I do in Atlanta. And I pretty much let everyone know that Charlotte is more of a Caucasian city, and Atlanta is more of a black city. And I told people in that video the reasons why. It wasn't like the obvious reasons. One being a white city, one being a black city. I broke it down. So now what I want to do today is let everyone know that's minorities. Where are the best places to live in North Carolina? You know what I'm saying? For where you can really still feel safe as a minority to live in. And it's a shame that in 2022 we have to have these conversations. But then again, it's not. This is a reality. This is their society. Regardless of whether you want to say, they took it from the Indians or the indigenous people of this land, or et cetera, et cetera. I mean, right now in 2022, we know who's running it. You understand? So the reality of it is yeah, it's a shame, but then again, it's not. We already know, our limitations far as us being minorities, or rather African Americans, right? So here in North Carolina, I'm just going to give you my opinion on what cities that I feel safer that minorities should live in. You understand? The first one being Charlotte. The reason why Charlotte is a liberal city, it's even though North Carolina has been kind of on this tightrope, in recent years, sometimes they want to shift to the, sometimes they want to be the red state and sometimes they want to be the blue state. Still, Charlotte is this more liberal city. It's a bigger city. The population is bigger. There's more opportunities. There's more things to do. So I would rate Charlotte as being number one. Number two. Man, that's hard. To kind of rate. I don't even want to rate it. I would just say Charlotte is being number one, and then after that, everything falls in line. There's consequences. I'll say number two would be Durham. Durham would be, a place that minorities will feel safe at. But then again, see, this is what I'm saying. It's a black city, but then there's something else. See, this is the problem that black people see. We're gonna keep it raw. We're gonna keep it real. If we're not dealing with typical black people, or rather minorities, period, that go to work 9 to 5 and that want to raise their children, have a family and have a prosperous life, see their children to have children, we deal with this all the time. So it's we move to these places and we got to question okay, what about the racism there? And then right after that, we have to say, okay, what about the black on black crime? And it's it's like we're caught in between two worlds. And I'm telling you, to be real with you, at times I don't know which one is worse. Was it racism or black people killing black people? I think, in my personal opinion, to be black people killing black people. Because I could deal with racism. You understand? I could deal with racism. The reason why I can deal with it, because I can live to see another day. But when dealing with the black community in the hoods, in the projects, you don't live to see another day. You don't. So, yeah, true indeed, Durham would be a more safer place for black people to live in because there's not as much racism there. But then it's the other thing, it's the gangs, the Bloods and the Crips. I remember I had broke down, this is a couple years ago. I had my car broke down, off the street. We wound up pushing it to this gas station. Made a long story short, my mom's came and we got to jump. And that was a problem. The battery had died. So we got to jump. The guy that was giving us a jump, he had his truck parked in the middle of the gas station, right? So another guy pulled up and was like, move your effing car out of the way, right? So the guy gets up. The guy that gave us a jump, he gets up. What do you say? He gets in the car. Now the guy with the truck, the guy that was cursing, said move your effing car out of the way, he had drove up to the gas pump. The guy that gave us a jump, got in his car, pulled up to beside the guy, that was cursing at the guy that gave us a jump, went in his back trunk, popped it open, and was like, what now? I'm like, are you serious? And this was in a decent area. And the guy was cursing, the curse, he froze. He was like, nah, man, I don't want no problems. So this is a different element that you have to deal with. And it's just a shame, man. It's a shame. Like you people talk about how the South is racist and this and that and so forth. Let me tell you something. I've lived in New York. I've lived in the North and I've lived in the South. There's a different type of racism that we're dealing with in the North and dealing with the South, but it's still the same thing at the end of the day. You understand? But it like I said before, it's just like a tug of war. Like you don't know, you want to move to the black community and get shot, or do you want to move to the white community and then, face some racism? So I can't really say Durham would be number 2. I would say Charlotte being number 1, and that's about it, man. Greensboro is racist. Raleigh is racist. Yes, it's a city where it's a beautiful city. Don't get it twisted. Like it's a more micro compact city, than Charlotte. Like Charlotte is widespread. Raleigh is like you walking across the street and you're downtown. You know what I'm saying? It's really small. You understand? But it's an upcoming city. It's downtown. It's getting bigger and bigger. There's things to do. But for the most part, man, the years that I've lived there, racial profiling. The cops racially profile you. That's off the rip. RPD is. I don't even want to talk about it. I don't even want to talk about Raleigh PD. And for those that are from Raleigh, and you always got these one or two guys that make a comment in the comment section of the videos that I do about Raleigh. They always say some shit like, well, I've never faced racism and yeah, because you're talking on an individual basis. I'm talking on a collective aspect. And some things just don't change. And that's another thing. Some people may say, well, you haven't been here for years. Man, some things just don't change. Raleigh is the capital city. And I always say this, and I continue to say this. Raleigh has a reputation to uphold. So, like I used to live in Durham. We used to go to Raleigh and party. It used to have the best hip hop clubs and everything. But for the most part, one day, shit just got shut down. And they no longer had hip-hop clubs. Like, they weren't having that. And the police force increased. I mean, you see police everywhere in Raleigh. Everywhere. To hear something that happens in Raleigh, like a murder or something like that, is like unheard of. Because they got that city on lock. For real. As a minority, I don't know. I mean, they got the best. Wake County got the best schools. You understand? The suburbs of Raleigh is Cary. Durham is right. Like you have that cluster of cities. So you have Durham, Raleigh, Chapel Hill, and Cary all together. You understand? So I don't know, man. I would tell somebody if they would want to move in that area to live on the outskirts of Raleigh. You know what I'm saying? It's crazy. Like, I would never fathom this. You know what I'm saying? Like, years ago. I would never think that people would be interested in living in North Carolina. But they are. You all are. You know what I'm saying? This is the reason why you're looking at this video. But I have to give it to you raw. Like, I don't see any other place but, like, really Charlotte. And listen, Charlotte is, like, packed. But for me to, like, tell you all to move anywhere else, I don't know. I don't know. I just don't want to be blamed, for, somebody, like, DMing me one day and saying, man, you told me to move to Raleigh, man, and it sucks. As a minority, that is, though. You know what I'm saying? As far as dealing with a Caucasian, you go and come where you want to, do what you want to do. But Raleigh is a real conservative city, man. It is a red city. You understand? Durham is more of the Democrat. You know what I'm saying? It's when I lived in Durham, I went to school in Durham. When I lived in Durham, I hardly faced racism. Hardly. Straight up. And this is in the 90s. And we got pulled over several times. I got pulled over by, Durham police several times and never had really a big incident. But in Raleigh, man, This is my word. I've been at a red light. It's broad daylight. Been at a red light, minding my own business. Cop is on the right side of me, but he's a car behind me. And I'm seeing him doing this. His nose all up in my car. Pulls me over for whatever reason, I don't know. Pulls me over, and then he's like, so at that time, they done away with the inspection stickers being on the front of the car. That's how old I am. You know what I'm saying? So the inspection sticker was on the front of the car, on the window, right? So the windshield. So he's like, yeah. He's like, yo, you know why I pulled you over? I'm like, nah, I don't. He's like, yo, your inspection sticker. How in the world did you see my inspection sticker from a car behind me? This is what I'm talking about. This is what I'm talking about. Yo, when I'm in Charlotte, and like I said, Charlotte's not no beacon of light. It ain't like, if you come to Charlotte, it's amazing. It's like Disneyland. No. It's not like that. But at the end of the day, man, I was on 485. I just passed the cop today, this afternoon, not too long before I made this video. Just past CMPD. I was doing like 75, 76, and the speed limit is 70. I know, it is a 70, like a 10 mile, you know what I'm saying? Like going over 10 miles, then you're speeding, you know what I'm saying? But for the most part, I was doing 70 something, and matter of fact, I passed by him and got in the same lane he was in. So he was right behind me, nothing. And I'm not saying all like CMPD is like innocent, because I know y'all gonna bring up, there've been like 2 or 3 murders as far as dealing with black men in Charlotte, and I can tell you one of them, probably 2 of them, but definitely one of them. I'm like, what you want this cop to do? What you want the cop to do? The dude from that was in college, and he just ran up on the cop. What you want him to do? Like, I'm making it sense. I'm making it make sense. Hold on. I remember when I got pistol whipped, right? Yeah, I've been in a lot of shit. I remember when I got pistol whipped. Scar is still right here, if you could see it. I remember when I got pistol whipped. I wanted to fight. The dude, as I'm coming around this van, the van is like sitting high up. I can't see the dude and what he's doing as he's coming around. Like, I'm just ready to fight. I come around the corner, and he got the gun in my face. I put my hands up, I'm like, oh, and pop, 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 pop. So, I had to go to the hospital, and I had like 6, 7 stitches. This was all cut up. My face was gashed. And the first thing this chick that I was dating said, man, if it was me, I was like, what? Until you had a pistol on your forehead like this, you don't know what you would do. You just don't know. You understand? So it's like sometimes you gotta put yourself in a cop's shoes. Straight up, like I'm a licensed firearm carrier. You know what I'm saying? I have my CCW, my concealed carry weapons license. And I'm telling you, there've been instances where it looked like somebody was about to run up, and I'm quick to pull it out. My point in making is that everybody wants to go home. Everybody wants to go home. Everybody has children. They're married. They want to go home. You don't think the police officer doesn't want to go home? It's either you or me. No. Let me tell you this. If I was a cop, pop, 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 pop. Oh, you black? Don't matter. Pop, pop. Oh, you white? Pop, 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 pop. Take that. I'm trying to go home. That's my word. Sometimes we have to empathize with these police officers. You know what I'm saying? But it's not the case in Raleigh, man. Raleigh PD, it's like, seriously, they go to the police academy And they'd be like, excuse me, anybody here racist? And it'd be like 16 guys. I am. Oh, you're hired. You're hired. You're hired. You're hired. If you don't believe me, take your black ass down there and see for yourself. And I ain't talking about going down there for like a couple hours. Nah, go down there for like a week or two. Straight up. And don't give me that BS like, well, you a beat bopper. You a hip hopper. Because you know some of you guys are like, you know, he a rough around the edges. He been through this and he been through that and this, that, and so forth. So this is the reason why he getting stopped. No. I drive I don't want to say what car I drive, but the car that I drive, I don't put rims on it. I don't have dark tint. I'm not blasting my music, and if I am playing music, it's like Afrobeat. You know what I'm saying? I look like this. Most of the time I have dry fit clothes on because I just came back from the gym. En route to the gym. I look like a dude that just works out, has his own business on the side, with children, got child seats in the back. What you pulling me over for? Greensboro? Please, forget about it. I don't even want to talk about Greensboro. You know what's so funny, man, in the black community? And this is something that I know white people recognize as well. And it started off in slavery, I'm not going to lie, but colorism. There's a thing that black people, there's a particular racism that black people have called colorism. Where if you ain't, what do they call it? There's a paper bag test. If you're darker than the paper bag, then it ain't no go with you. But if you're lighter, hey, you all right. If you close to white, hey, you all right. Well, how they say it? If you're mellow, you're yellow. If you're yellow, you're mellow, or some shit like that. It's crazy, man. So picking, if you choose to live in North Carolina, I would say Charlotte as a minority. Straight up. Rural areas, I don't forget about it. I hear too much shit. You know, when it comes to, you know, these little hick towns, I wouldn't stay in them. You know what I'm saying? I wouldn't. You know, if I would stay in any place, you know, that was like a hick town sort of, it'd be like Gastonia or something like that. But no, I mean, I'm gonna say this one last thing and then I'm out. Yo, if you're coming from the northern states or coming from the west coast and you've heard about North Carolina and then you start like bringing, you know, you start looking at cities to live in, yo, seriously, real cities in North Carolina are Greensboro, Winston-Salem, Charlotte, Raleigh, Durham, and possibly Fayetteville. Outside of that, everything is country. So please, this is dedicated to you all that like DM me or you know, email me and say, yo, what about Mebane? What about Washington? What about this? And what about that place? And man, all of the places are country. That's it. So it's nothing really spectacular about this state. You know what I mean? I mean, besides it being like beautiful, you know, you can go to the mountains, you know, North Carolina has the mountains, they have, you know, the coast, you know what I'm saying? It's a coastal state, so, you know, you got the beaches in Wilmington and all over, what is it called? East North Carolina. You understand? You got, you know, Carowinds, you got in Charlotte, well, actually, Charlotte, North Carolina / South Carolina. You got the Carolina Panthers. You got the major basketball team, Charlotte Hornets. The major football team, Carolina Panthers. You got the minor league baseball team. What is it? The Charlotte Knights. You have the major hockey team, the Hurricanes. And what else? You got Ashburn Zoo, which is a beautiful zoo, for real. It's really nice. It's big. You know what I'm saying? You got, what is it called? Emerald Point, the water park in Greensboro. You have all types of natural parks and, you know, you got, what is that place called in Raleigh? You know, right next to North Carolina State University. I forgot the name of that park where the little choo-choo train goes around the park and all of that. You got that. You know, you have a lot of people come here, you know, to go to school. You have North Carolina State University. You have UNC, University of North Carolina. You have University of North Carolina Charlotte. You have University of North Carolina Greensboro. You have the HBCUs. You know what I'm saying? Well, excuse me. You have Duke. Then you have the HBCUs such as North Carolina Central, North Carolina A&T, Shaw, St. Augustine's. Man, it's so many. It's so many. Johnson C. Smith University. You have the Culinary School that's here. Johnson and Wales University. There's things to do. There's education is here. You know, it's a little bit of entertainment. If you into the nightlife, it ain't too much going on. I'm just gonna be real with you. You know what I'm saying? You're gonna have to probably drive down to Atlanta. Atlanta's depends on where you're at in the state of North Carolina. You know, if you're in Charlotte, Atlanta's 4 hours away. You know what I'm saying? Myrtle Beach is right down the street. Depends on where you're at in North Carolina. Where we're at, you know, where I'm at, Charlotte, it's about 3.5 hours. But if you're in the Raleigh Durham area, it's probably about 3 hours. You understand? So yeah, man, you know, if I was a minority, I would say Charlotte, and I would kind of debate with the Raleigh Durham area. Outside of that, I don't see anywhere else. You know what I'm saying? They say, you know, this is what a lot of people say. Well, they're building up in Winston-Salem and they're building up in Greensboro. I don't care whether they're building up in Greensboro if the state of mind of the people haven't changed. I don't want to move there. I don't care how many buildings that they build in downtown Greensboro or how much they change the scenery, the landscape. If the people haven't changed, I don't want to be there. Other than that, my name is Langston29. I forgot what my name was first. My name is Langston2092. I want you to like, comment, subscribe, and definitely share this video.